Well, listeners, the gods have listened and Hammerfall are coming to Australia for the first time ever for an Australian tour that we are so excited about. And we thought tonight on the show, to find out a little bit more about this amazing tour, we thought we would actually get Oscar from the band on the phone to chat all about it. Welcome to the program, Oscar.
Thank you. It's a real pleasure being here.
Now, Oscar, tell us a little bit about this Australian tour. All of your fans here are so excited about you coming to Australia for the first time. How do you feel about this tour?
I'm at least as excited as they are. I'm really looking forward to it. Like we did one show in 2015. In 30 years, that's the only show we ever did in Australia. It doesn't really count. So for me, it's really exciting to be able to go to Australia and do a full tour of all the major cities, I guess. So we're very excited about this. It's the one show, one tour that I'm not going to be spending in my hotel room. I'm going to be exploring and experiencing as much as I can.
We'll talk to you about the exploring in just a little bit, but I'm curious to know as well, when you've only been to a country for one show like that, is there a level of excitement for yourself being able to play your music in front of fans that have never seen you play live before?
It absolutely is, because if we've never been there or almost never been there, if we haven't toured regularly, people tend to be a little bit more excited when we go there. Like when we went back to the US for the first time in many years, in 2017 we were there. We hadn't been there for a long time, and there was sort of a surge in melodic metal as well in the US. So it was a very successful tour, which is the reason we still tour over there. But the thing is the same. When they haven't seen us over and over for 30 years, they haven't seen every show, every tour that we do, and it's play for an audience that are excited than for an audience that don't want to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course, anybody who buys a ticket wants to be there. But if you want to get into the show, and if you are getting into the show, if you don't stand around watching or nodding your head, that's good enough. But if you really want to be a part of it, bang your fist, scream, sing along in the lyrics, because that makes for such a great atmosphere. That makes it a heavy metal party. I usually talk about the Hammerfall shows like one big heavy metal party, because that's basically what it is. You have the band on stage playing, performing, trying to be energized and exciting. The audience can feed off of that and give us their energy and their power back to us. And then that is what I mean by the heavy metal party, because that's one big. It's not just the band performing and people watching. It's a collaboration. It's the interaction that's what makes it so great. And I think we've done. We do that a lot. That's what we base our tours on. And I think touring in Australia this time, that's why part of the reason I have high hopes for this is because we haven't been there all the time, and that people will be very excited to see us, and that would create some very unique experiences on stage every night.
I think also crowds here in Australia have been very different since COVID, because of course for a lot of our country we didn't have we had 2 years of lockdowns, and then we didn't have any tours for about another 12 months after that. But I think a lot of people started to realize what it was like not having concerts. So now they've gone back, there's an extra level of excitement. Have you found that where you've been playing in other places in the world as well?
It's a good question. I think now it's gone so much time has passed since we did the first show after COVID. That was in May of 22. So it's a long time now. When we've done, I don't know how many shows since then, but it's a lot of them. So now I don't have that same feeling anymore. But I remember the first show that we did after being forced to sit on the sidelines basically for 2 years, could not even exit your house, or at least not travel anywhere for such a long time. You couldn't do the thing that you love the most, basically, which is playing live. It's such a great adrenaline rush. When that first show happened, I knew it was going to be like that, because we talked about it a little bit before, but it was not just us, it was the audience too. the audience they were starved. This was in Manchester, England, so it was in the UK. First show I think anybody has seen in 2.5 years almost for us. It was incredible. It's a crazy feeling, but I don't think that we had that so much over the same year. There was the first year of that. There was, I think I talked to some booking agents in Europe, and they said that we sold X amount of tickets, but about 25% didn't show up because they were afraid to go to concerts, even though the restrictions of COVID was lifted.
Yeah.
And that was 2022 for a large part in some areas, like Germany, for example, was like this. But I don't know if I can remember what you're saying, that people are especially excited because it's COVID after COVID, because it's been so long. I don't know how many shows we played, but probably around 100, maybe more. Yeah, probably more. It's now it's back to business.
Yeah.
It's normal as usual. But it's a good thing that you talked about Australia, Elizabeth, because obviously we haven't been there for such a long time, and almost never, and we don't really know what to expect. I know what to hope for, but I don't know exactly what I can expect. So it's good to know.
Apparently, a lot of bands and a lot of artists tell us that Australians at shows are very energetic and very, very crazy. They say that there's things that happen here in Australia that you've never seen before. In fact, one band said to me, Australia is the only country in the world where they've ever done a show where they've seen somebody in a wheelchair being passed around above everybody's head towards the stage.
All right. Okay, so this sounds very promising. You don't have to be a wheelchair by being passed around, but the energy level I like very much.
So, Oscar, tell us a little bit about your set list. Of course, when you've been, like, as you said before, you tour across Europe quite often, you tour in Scandinavia quite often, which means that your later shows will be focusing on Avenged the Fallen. But because you're coming to Australia and not been here for so many years, does that mean that your set list will change a little bit to play some of those older tracks as well that people have never seen live?
No, we're not going to do a lot of special things, I don't think. We haven't actually, honestly, we haven't really started discussing this because we have a big tour in Europe coming up in October, and once that is over with, then that's when we're starting to focus on Australia, because that is what's happening right after New Year's. But I mean, we have a set list that now includes not every album, of course, because that's impossible, but all the eras of Hammerfall is included in there. We have the classics, we have some old stuff, we have some new stuff, we have some fun stuff. So it'll be whatever we decide to play. I'm sure if you're a fan of the band, it's going to be a really, really cool experience. That's what I'm hoping for our side, at least.
Definitely. Now, you mentioned before that you're hoping to get out and explore a little bit as well while you're here in Australia. What kind of things are you hoping to get out and do? What kind of things do you like to do away from the stage?
Well, this is more a touristy thing. I think, just to see what's going on, if there's anything fun to do. I love animals. That's my favorite thing apart from metal music. So anything that I wish I could go on a tour in the wilderness or something, like the outback or whatever.
Yep.
But of course we don't have time to do those social things normally because it's kind of a strict schedule when we play. But there will be time to do some things. We'll see what happens. Really, I haven't really thought of exactly what I want to do because I don't know what's available to do. But anything that has to do with beaches would be fun too. Don't get to go to a lot of those anymore either. So anything that's outdoors, I guess,
Now, you've sparked my interest talking about animals because, of course, away from radio, I'm a volunteer with Wildlife Warriors that look after endangered and endangered animals. Tell us a little bit about your love for animals. Where did that love for animals come from, and And how does that impact your everyday life? Like, are you someone that gets out into nature? Do you have animals of your own? I'm interested now.
Sure. No, yeah, I think I've always loved animals since I was a kid. You know, every kid loves animals. We had a dog when I was younger. The dog was born the same year as I was. So for every year of my life, the first 30 years, we had a dog. And animals has just been something that I've been passionate about all the time. It's never really gone away. And now that I'm older, of course, we have dogs of our own. We have 3 dogs, and we're also a foster home for dogs
Wow.
as well when they need to be a family, like sort of the halfway house for them from wherever they were before into their forever home, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm actually an ambassador for an organization here in Sweden called Hundar utan hem, which means dogs without a home.
Okay.
And I help raise awareness for them, for their non-profit organization, and just do fostering stuff. We've fostered dogs for 6 years, I think. 6 years. So we had a lot of dogs over there. So my duties hasn't really changed. I do the same thing I did before, but it's nice to have an official title for it, just to be able to help them reach out a little bit more. Because any dog, because the thing is, Sweden does not have any strays. We have a very strict policy on that. You have to chip your dog, and everybody takes care of their dog like it was a family member. So we don't really have stray dogs here.
Yep.
We don't have it at all. But in Ireland, for example, they do have a lot of. It's mind-boggling to me to think that this is a European country, but they treat their animals in general as more as tools, or not living things. So that when one tool breaks, they want to just replace it with another. And I can talk about this for ages, because they have a really. There's so many dogs that are mistreated in Ireland. So this organization, Hundar utan hem, they work with a lot of shelters and in Ireland, that they bring home dogs from Ireland to Sweden, and then so they get a new life in Sweden. And we have 2 of those from there that came from this organization to us. We have a third one that we had. He's 13 years old, as we had him for a long time. And we also have a foster dog right now at the moment. We almost always have a foster dog, but this one has been with us for 10 months. Yep. It's a bit hard to get adopted because he has only 3 legs, but he's the most loving creature you can ever imagine.
Yeah, I've got a rescue here as well. I've got a dog that
nice.
Yeah, we don't have strays here in Australia either. We're the same as like what you said. It's like in Sweden, but I've got a rescue who couldn't stay with her family anymore because the child in the family became allergic to dogs. So yeah, I've got a rescue here as well.
Yep. That's nice. What's the breed?
So she is a Border Collie cross Blue Heeler. So Blue Heeler is an Australian dog. So they're also known as the Australian cattle dog. So yeah, she's a Border Collie cross Blue Heeler.
Nice.
So Oscar, tell us a little bit as well. Like, do you find that because of your love for animals, do you find that nature inspires you a lot with your music?
Yeah, I mean it does. It used to do more. It does inspire me in a way, but it's also just the thing that not being locked into a room, just being out by the ocean or in the woods, whatever it is, that is. I think that's inspiring for life in general, just to be able to handle everything that life throws at you, whatever it may be. I don't know if it actually inspires me to write any music, but it definitely helps me with life, and life is what I base my writing on. Like feelings and emotions is how I write music. So I guess you could say it does inspire me as well.
Definitely. Now I have to ask as well, with the new album Avenge the Fallen, how have you found those tracks have been going live, and will there be more of those added to the set list before you hit Australia as well?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, we did release a couple of singles and we did do a lot of festivals this summer. So we did both a South or a Latin American and a North American tour in spring, which we played "Hail to the King" on almost all of the shows. And then we added the end justifies when that was released. We added that one to the set list as well. So we played those two throughout the whole summer, and it's been really good. I mean, it's been really, they fit really well into the set. And "Hail to the King" is so easy for, even if you haven't heard the song a lot, you can still understand when you're supposed to throw your fist in the air and then yell "Hail." It's very easy to get it into that way. So I think those have gone over really well. What happens next, I can't tell you yet. I don't know what songs we're going to be playing in January. We have this tour with Powerwolf coming up, and once that is over, I think we'll put together a set list. But there will be more than those two songs I just mentioned, more than those added to the set list for sure.
Awesome. Well, I know we are running out of time very quickly, so I guess to finish off, what would you like to say to your fans out there that are so eagerly waiting for this Hammerfall tour? What would you like to say to them?
I would like to say that come to the show or shows in January. If you come there with a party mood, then we're going to have the greatest time of our lives together. I guarantee you that.